Hey guys, how you doing? Evylyn here and welcome to another video. So today's video is going to be a little different, guys. It's going to be an arena guide. But before we get into any of that, I wanted to announce last week's competition winner, and the winner should be on the screen right now. Congratulations, and all you have to do to claim that prize is send me a YouTube message and include your email and your nationality. Next week we're going to have a new prize. The prize should be on the screen right now. All you have to do for a chance to win that prize is like the video, leave a comment, as I'm going to be choosing a winner from the comments, and make sure you're subscribed, as only subscribers can win. Okay, so guys, before we get into today's video, I also want to announce that I'm going to be trying to upload a lot more than I have been recently, which means you're probably going to see at least 5 videos from me a week. But that being said, I'm still going to try to keep the quality for you guys, so if the quality starts to suffer, I might pull back, but hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully you guys enjoy what I put up. Anyways guys, let's get on with today's video. Today's video is going to be an arena guide. Now, it's not for a beginner's guide, it's a beginner's guide for arena. Now, people have asked me for a beginner's guide. I will eventually do that, but this one is specifically for arena. Okay, so the first part of the beginner's guide today will be defensives. Now, most people think about defense, they think shield wall, rally cry, die by the sword, and possibly a trinket. Now, that's 4 cooldowns according to everyone. The difference is there's actually 17 cooldowns that you can actually use to keep yourself alive. Now, they aren't considered cooldowns when you're quote, but they are defensive ways to keep yourself alive during arena without actually having to pop any of your defensives at any point in the arena just to keep yourself alive. I'm going to go quickly through them, show you guys the abilities, and I'm also going to tell you how I use them as we go through them. So first up we have is Fear. Fear, basically you just use at the right time when you're going to be nuked at any single point in the game, like somebody might have a deep freeze or etc, or they may try to pop CDs. It's just a good all-round thing for defensiveness. It can be used offensively, but we'll go into that to another video. But basically here's a little clip of me using Fear. And as you guys saw, I was rooting a deep freeze and the mage was going to nuke me, so I just feared him and I was out with that fear, no problem. The next one we're going to talk about is your trinket. Now, most people will use their trinket just to get out of anything really. Now, in this next example, which I'm going to show you in a minute, I do use that for that specific reason, but there is moments in time where you can use it for getting out of when you're almost dead basically, and it's a good time to use it, specifically when you're actually going to get nuked. That's a really good time to use it. In this example I'm going to show you now, as you guys seen, I was deeped. I couldn't do much about it, but unfortunately I had to trinket at this point. It was foolish of me to go around that corner, but we all make mistakes. Basically the best time to use it when you or one of your teammates is going to be killed basically. Okay, so the next one we have is Heroic Leap, and there's only one real good time to use Heroic Leap, and that is when either your healer is CC'd or you're being nuked and you have no defensives. Your healer has no defensives, your healer has no trinket, your healer is CC'd, and there's no way you're going to survive if you just stand there. So that's the only time I would recommend use Heroic Leap. As you guys can see, here's an example. I was pretty much getting nuked, so the healer pulled me out. I just leaped over the other side, got out of line of sight, got my health back a bit, came back, and everything was okay. Okay, so the next one is Interrupting. Interrupting is very important, especially when you're being nuked by a caster. So if a caster's nuking you and you interrupt the caster, that's 4 seconds of time you are going to be able to survive their damage. So as you guys see in this example, I'm using Disrupting Shout to interrupt the mage's cast from 10 yards away. You probably didn't expect that, and it's a really good trick you guys should definitely use in arenas. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about Disarm. Now, Disarm can be used in many different ways, but the best time to use Disarm is when either someone has full CDs up or when you're basically trying to peel for someone else. But most of the time you're going to be peeling for yourself, so you're going to disarm for yourself and you're going to disarm at any point that you use CDs, and it's really a good option. As you see in this example, the hunter has rapid fire. I quickly disarm him, which then makes him line of sight me because he knows he can't continue to knock me unless the pets stay on me. Now, disarm is a really good tool, especially against melee, but it works on hunters too, obviously. Now, next one's going to be line of sight. Line of sight's a little bit tricky, but there's specific times where you're going to be nuked, and if you line of sight a target, it's a really good chance of keeping yourself alive, especially if your healer's around the other side and it keeps you from getting nuked. It's a really good option. Now in this example, you're going to see the mage is trying to nuke me with all the CDs up. I line of sight and get around the corner and I'm completely fine. Okay, so the next one is Safeguard. Safeguard, most people think you use Safeguard to get out of a route, or use Safeguard to protect your healers, etc. Well, believe it or not, Safeguard has another use, as you guys are going to see in this example. As you guys can see, I'm getting nuked here. I see my hunter over here, I Safeguard my hunter, I get around, line of sight them, and I'm completely fine. Okay, so the next one is Thunderclap. Now Thunderclap is a little bit different. Thunderclap reduces the damage you take by 10%, but also provides a bleed around the targets. So basically you want to Thunderclap the targets to reduce the damage you take by 10%, which is a really good option to use against melees or hunters. Okay, the next one we have is Shockwave. Shockwave most people use to stun the target so they can kill it, or basically peel for their healers or something, but you can actually use it to peel for yourself as well. As you guys are going to see in this example, the mage is about to cast a Shockwave him, and he has to blink. Okay, so the next one is Berserker Rage. Berserker Rage is a little bit different. Now Berserker Rage, there's a right and wrong time to use it. The best time to use Berserker Rage is when you're going to be nuked, or when someone in your team's going to be nuked, and use Berserker Rage over it and get yourself back on track. Now, you don't use Berserker Rage on any fears that you know that you don't need to. As you guys are going to see in this little example right now, I'm going to be feared here by the Warlock. I Berserker Rage because the DK is trying to nuke me, I managed to get out and I'm fine. Okay, so the next one is Hamstring. Now a lot of people wonder about Hamstring. Why is a Hamstring defensive? Well, Hamstring can be used to kite as well as actually keeping yourself on the target. As you guys are going to see in the example, I'm actually being attacked by a DK, I hamstring him and I just kite him around the corner, effectively reducing the amount of damage I take. Okay, so the next one is going to be Spell Reflect. Spell Reflect is a little bit different than the rest. Spell Reflect is basically, can be used in many ways, but the best way to use Spell Reflect is when you're being nuked and you know you can reflect some of the damage you get. So as you guys see in the example, the Shadow Priest and the Mage are nuking me, I put up a Spell Reflect really quick here and I managed to reduce some of the damage taken from me. Okay, so next is your positioning. Your positioning is very important. Positioning can depend on whether you get knocked off a ledge, or positioning can depend on whether you actually survive a lot of damage or anything. It's really a good option here to position yourself well, not just to attack a target. And as you guys are going to see in this quick example I put up here, I'm going to charge this Shaman and I position myself diagonal so when he knocks me back I don't actually get knocked off the ledge and I manage to stay up and stay in the fight. And last but not least is Charge. Charge can be used really useful. Basically a lot of people use Charge for just getting to a target, but you can also use Charge to interrupt the healer's casts, or you can use it to interrupt people that are nuking you quite easily. For instance, let's say you're being nuked by a mage and you're being nuked by a warlock. You could easily leap over, fear the warlock, charge the mage's cast, and then interrupt any cast or shockwave anything that he does. And I love Charge. Charge is the best thing since sliced bread. It can be used really good against any class, not just for cutting on the target. As you guys are going to see in this little example here, I'm going to charge the mage's cast, effectively stopping him nuking me here. And guys, that's it for the 14 tricks you use in Arena. So the next part, guys, is going to be a combination of all of them kind of put together in certain little clips here that I put together. So as you guys are going to see, I'm going to go through the first one. The first one here, I'm going to be waiting for the mage to appear. The mage is going to suddenly appear and put me in a deep in a second, as you guys are going to see right now. Second, he puts me deep, Spell Reflect up, I then fear the mage trinkets, I shockwave the mage blinks it, I then charge the mage's cast, the mage then roots me up again in a second. As the mage is going to cast, I use Disrupting Shout and effectively stop all of his damage, stopping him from nuking the shit out of me basically. And didn't have to use any CDs because I did all that. Now that's just one example of how to keep yourself alive without actually having to pop any defensives. Okay, so the next one goes straight into it. I have died by the sword up and hit pretty hard, so I use Rally Cry as well. I interrupt the mage's cast, the mage blinks away, I then line sight the mage behind the waterfall. Then I get feared, lucky never get knocked out of it. I use my shield wall, I was going to berserk it but I didn't. I interrupt some of the mage's casts here. The mage casts Frostbomb, I use Spell Reflect, then I pop all CDs and I hit the mage really hard. I shattering throw the mage's ice block. The mage then continues to take more damage while I have my shield wall up and I'm doing this much damage and the mage is just flattened down in 2 seconds. Now the idea there was to keep as much pressure up as I could while also keeping my defensives and myself alive at the same time, which I managed to do pretty well as you guys saw. So as you guys are going to see in this example here, so I'm attacking the warlock here and the warlock's basically going to nuke me, but I once get died by the sword up. The warlock fears me unfortunately and there's nothing I can do about it. I haven't got Berserker Rage. And then charge the warlock's cast, The warlock then decides to pop some CDs here and then teleports away from me. I manage to get around the ring, I then leap over, I continue to hit the warlock, and then just to see my healer's getting nuked, I charge over here, safeguard my healer, thunderclap to reduce any damage, and I continue to nuke then I go back on the mage. The mage then runs away from me, and as you guys can see, I've not popped any CDs just yet, other than die by the sword. I get rooted here, I pop shield wall straight away, the mage casts frostbolt, I interrupt that, and the mage runs away from me. I'm running around, I get fair dudes, berserker rage here. Then I continue, once I get deep, unfortunately I've trinketed at this point. The mage just hit me pretty hard, so he used rally cry straight away. I leave charge over here, which I shouldn't have done, which then gets me killed. Now the thing is, if I had stayed out in line of sight, I would have been fine. So there's the example on what not to do. Just the CDs were right, but you need to watch your positioning, like I said earlier on, and you need to watch what you're doing. Everything counts in efforts, and if you're not watching what you're doing, you can quite easily die without even having popped all your CDs right, as you guys saw. So the next example is going to be basically me doing it right. So first up, I'm going to start off the match like normal. The option here is to charge the priest straight away. So what you do, charge on the priest, I get in, I get disorientated, Chaos Ball gets interrupted by my hunter, and then I then go on the warlock. The warlock puts blood fear up, which then fears me now in a second. I get hard, but I get knocked out lucky enough. I continue to attack the warlock. The warlock runs away and pops some CDs. I get nuked here, so I pop die by the sword. The warlock continues to run away from me. I'm being fair here, there's not much I can do. The warlock's casting Chaos Bolt and is going to hit you pretty hard. But look, I'm still okay. I managed to pop shield wall in time, so I run at the warlock, continue to keep nuking. The warlock runs away, and then pop all CDs and start attacking the warlock as hard as I can. I pop rally cry because I got knocked around pretty low there. Keep the pressure up and manage to kill the warlock. Now that's the best way to do it, just to make sure you keep the pressure up while you're popping your defensives, because if you're popping defensives and just playing full defensive, sometimes you can die, but there's also cons and pros to depending on what you should do. It's all situational, but the best time to do it is usually if you can keep the offensive, keep it. If you for some strange reason need to peel for your healer, or you need to do something else after you've popped CDs to nuke down somebody, do it, because at the end of the day it's better to have wasted your CDs and defended your healer than to pop your CDs and try to kill someone and let your healer die. Okay, so guys, the next arena I'm going to show you is a full example of everything that we've done in this video, combined into one arena, which basically sums up everything we've done. Now the thing is, we weren't on Skype unfortunately, so we did end up losing this match, but the match was pretty long. There was a lot of good counters in this match, so I hope you guys enjoyed this match, and I'm going to play some music now. You guys can see it for yourselves. Let's see if you can actually point out the good stuff as we go along. So you guys, hope you enjoy. Yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed them arenas, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something from it. I also wanted to give a shout out to the two people who helped me get the clips for this video. Clarine, which was the hunter, and Zopar, which was the Mistweaver monk, but is also playing main as DK. These are the mains on the screen, as you guys can see. It's one of the big shout out to thank you guys for actually helping me out. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. This is Evylyn. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.